All right, Jacob, thanks. It is deer hunting season, but bows and arrows and guns aren't the only weapons deers face. Vehicles kill lots of deer every year, and it's equally as dangerous for drivers. 5 News reporter KATHRYN Gilker spoke to experts who say there are things you can do to keep the impact minimal.
There's about 1.5 million deer vehicle collisions every year nationwide.
AAA experts say November is peak season for deer collisions in Arkansas. There are fewer daylight hours and it's peak mating and hunting season for deer. The best way to avoid a deer collision is to stay attentive behind the wheel and limit distractions like your cell phone or talking to passengers.
As well as driving a speed that's appropriate for the road conditions. Of course, we know the faster you're going, the longer it's going to take you to brake should an animal run out into the middle of the roadway. So, making sure, especially in wet conditions or less than ideal conditions, to slow down.
If there is a way for you to avoid hitting a deer, that's your best option. But if you can't avoid it, do not swerve because that can cause you to drive into oncoming traffic. Spokesman for AAA, CHABARRIAAA, says drivers should grip the steering wheel with both hands.
You want to let off the brake a little bit prior to impact. And the reason for that is a lot of times during hard braking vehicles, the front end will go kind of angled down, and that could cause the animal to roll up onto the hood and toward the windshield.
If you've ever wondered what happens to deer that get hit by cars, the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission says as long as it's not in the middle of the road, they leave it to let nature run its course. They say if they were to pick up every deer that get hit by a car, then that would be a full-time job.
Randy Zellers with the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission says if you kill a deer with your car, it's yours to keep if you choose to, even if you don't have a hunting license. If you do have a license, you don't have to use one of your deer tags.
We do ask that you call our radio room at the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission to put down a record of that deer being hit by a car. That way, if a wildlife officer does, for some reason, check you and he sees a deer in your freezer, then he knows that that deer was taken, through that vehicle collision.
Covering news where you live, KATHRYN Gilker, 5 News.
Now, if you do hit a deer, call police to report it. AAA suggests that people call their insurance company to make sure they're covered. With all of the supply chain issues, if you do have damage and need car parts, it will likely take a lot longer to get fixed.